What's going on, guys? JSGC here, back again with another football video where today we're going to be doing my Premier League predictions ahead of matchday number 13 in the Premier League. So before I do crack on with this video, do make sure to go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by SofaScore. SofaScore are going to keep you guys up to date with all the latest football scores from around the grounds. They'll keep you up to date with the latest match information, the latest statistics, the latest team news, all your good footballing needs. It's all in there in the SofaScore app, so do go and check it out. Links and details, they are in the description. A very highly rated app. It's free to download, not just limited to football scores and info. It's got you guys covered for all the sports that you want to follow, all in one place, all in one app. A big thank you to SofaScore for sponsoring today's video, and anyone that does download SofaScore's app using my link in the description or the QR code on screen does help to support the future content created here on my channel. So, having a look at my performance across match day number 12, 2 correct scores, 3 correct results, 5 incorrect. Not amazing, but not bad either. I'd say somewhere in the middle, so I've graded myself directly in the middle, 5 out of 10. I had Chelsea down as 2-0 winners against Burnley away. Finished 2-0 Chelsea, spot on with that one. On to the 3 o'clock games from last week. I had Bournemouth down as 2-1 winners against West Ham. That finished 2-2. Good point on the road there for West Ham, but nearly got that, but not quite. I had Brighton Brentford down as a 1-1 draw. Brighton pretty decent at home, continuing their good form, winning that game by 2-1. I had Fulham down as 2-1 winners against Sunderland at home. That finished 1-0 to Fulham. I had Liverpool down as 1-0 winners against Nottingham Forest. Things just seem to be going really wrong for Liverpool. Losing at Anfield against Nottingham Forest last weekend. Lost 4-1 to PSV Eindhoven in the Champions League at Anfield. It's back-to-back defeats by losing by 3 goals at Anfield. So you can't imagine that Arne Slot's going to be in charge at Liverpool too much longer if this slump does continue. I had Crystal Palace down as 2-1 winners against Wolves. That finished 2-0 to Crystal Palace again. Not too far away in the final game on Saturday. I had City down as 3-1 away winners against Newcastle. Newcastle, very physical, made things happen, scored that all-important opening goal, and ended up winning the game by 2-1 again. Just continuing their very good home form. Moving on to Sunday's games, I had Aston Villa down as 2-1 winners away from home against Leeds. Spot on with that one. I had Arsenal down as 3-0 winners against Spurs. That finished 4-1. Again, not too far away. And the final game on Monday evening, I had United down as 2-0 home winners against Everton. And despite Idrissa Gueye slapping his own player and getting sent off and causing loads of controversy, Everton still went on to win that game, which, real good away win that for Everton, and Manchester United just doing what Manchester United have been doing, which is just incredibly inconsistent and not really learning their lessons from last season, which, me being a City fan, it's things we love to see. Long live Ruben Amorim in charge at Manchester United. And I wouldn't complain with Arne Slot being in charge for a little bit longer at Liverpool as well. Anyway, moving on to match day number 13, starting on Saturday 29th of November 2025. We're heading to West London. There's no early kickoff, so we're starting straight in with the 3 p.m. GMT kickoff times. Starting off with Brentford against Burnley. I think Brentford are going to win that game, and I'm going with Brentford to win by 2-0. I am starting to notice that Burnley and Leeds United, two recently promoted teams to the Premier League, just slowly but surely just being dragged further and further into that relegation battle, into the relegation zone. And Burnley, Leeds, Wolves, just for me, just started to see a little bit of a standout of the gulfing quality between the 3 teams at the bottom and the rest of the Premier League. It'll be interesting to see, actually, because we're in the real fine parts of the season. I always find that between probably match day 10 right through to about match day number 25, then 15 games, where it's the real nitty-gritty of the league, that for me is where things are decided. You have good form, you're going to achieve your goals. You don't have good form, you're going to be struggling to achieve your goals, is what's going to happen in them 15 games. And in terms of the bottom, Leeds, Burnley, Wolves, just not finding the form, and they don't want to stay up. They've got to find that form, and they've got to find it ASAP. But going with another defeat for Burnley, going 2-0 Brentford for that game. To the Etihad Stadium, City needing a response. Back-to-back defeats for them. Lost against Newcastle last weekend, lost against Bayer Leverkusen, making 10 changes. No idea why Man City decided to make so many changes, but it disrupted the momentum. They lost against Bayer Leverkusen at home. ending Man City's real good form at home in the Champions League and also for this season, as well as on the back of 7 straight home wins. But I'm going for them to get back to winning ways. They need a response. The regular first team will be out, and what I've just said with Burnley struggling, Leeds struggling as well. And I think if City can score and score early, I can just see it being a one-way traffic game. So I'm going with Man City to really go out there, lay the gauntlet out, and say, we're serious again. So going 4-0 Manchester City. To Stadium of Light, you've got Sunderland taking on AFC Bournemouth. This could be a real interesting game. I think it's going to be a real toe-for-toe game where I can just see two teams just wanting to try and play football and try and win this game, and it could go either way. I've got quite a few home wins this week, so I was like, I need a couple of away wins there, and I feel like if there is going to be some away wins for this upcoming Premier League match day, I feel like Stadium Light might be one of them places that it does happen to. So I'm going with a real close game, a real end-to-end game, but I'm going Bournemouth edge it, late goal for them, 2-1 Bournemouth. To the Hill Dickinson Stadium, Everton taking on Newcastle, 5:30 p.m. GMT kickoff time, with the game being broadcast live in the UK on Sky Sports. And for me, this is going to be a big summary of Newcastle's season. Play incredibly well at home, beat a real good team like Manchester City, follow that up with a defeat midweek in the Champions League against Marseille away from home, struggle for a bit of form, starting to feel the wear and tear of the season, fatigue starts to hit in again. For me, I don't think they've got a strong enough depth to be able to cope with rotating on a regular basis, and it's been a relentless week for them, and I think that's going to tell. And I think Everton will do what Everton do under David Moyes, which is pick up a goal, able to keep clean sheets, make life very difficult for Newcastle. I think it's going to be a real physical game, a real close game. Can't see there being that many goals, and I can see Everton winning that game. So going 1-0 Everton. And then the final game on Saturday at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, you've got Tottenham Hotspur taking on Fulham at 8 p.m. at GMT, with that game also being broadcast live on Sky Sports. And I am going for Tottenham Hotspur to get back to winning ways. I was impressed how they played midweek against PSG, and that's how they need to be taking the games to teams, and they need to start showing their quality, because if they don't, again, they're just going to struggle, and they're going to have a similar season to what they had last season, and they've already had their struggles this season, so they need to start turning things around. And as I was saying before about Burnley and about Leeds and these important games between match days 10 through to 25, it's the same for teams that want to compete towards the top as well. Tottenham Hotspur, that's where the season's going to be decided. If they continue just to be incredibly inconsistent, then you're going to look at them and you're going to say, potentially going to be finishing in the bottom half. Again, I don't think they're going to go down. It's just like, Newcastle has struggled for consistency. Manchester United have struggled for consistency. I don't think any the teams are too strong for me to go down, but they could end up just having no success this season. So if they do want success, they've got to beat Fulham at home, and they've got to start turning these games that they should be winning into 3 points. And I'm going for that to happen this weekend. But again, I wouldn't rule out Fulham doing something. So moving on to Sunday's games, 30th of November 2025. Starting off at Selhurst Park in the early kickoff, it's Crystal Palace taking on Manchester United. That game kicking off at 12 p.m. GMT, with the game being broadcast live in the UK on TNT Sports. I weren't sure what to do with this one, so I've gone with a score draw. Really sat on the fence and gone 1-1. Again, I can see either side winning this, and I weren't sure what to do with it, so I've gone with a draw and gone 1-1. To Villa Park, you've got Aston Villa taking on Wolverhampton Wanderers at 2:05 p.m. GMT, with the game being broadcast live on Sky Sports. In fact, all games that I'm speaking about from here on out throughout the rest of this video, all these games have been broadcast live in the UK on Sky Sports. So firstly, weird kickoff time. It kicks off at 2:05 p.m. GMT because there's an early kickoff at 12 p.m. So there's every chance that there could be a lot added on, and then some people that are tuning in may end up missing the start of one of the games because the early kickoff hasn't ended yet. So they're giving an extra 5 minutes of grace here. That's why these games are kicking off at 2:05 p.m. But Aston Villa against Wolves. Aston Villa are going to be too strong for Wolves, and going solid 2-0 win for Aston Villa. And then to the City Ground, you've got Nottingham Forest taking on Brighton and Hove Albion. Again, 2:05 p.m. kickoff time. I'm going with Nottingham Forest to win this game. I think this could be a real close game, and I wouldn't rule out Brighton doing something, but I've been impressed with Nottingham Forest over the last couple of weeks, and I go for them to continue a bit of good form, and I'm going 2-1 Nottingham Forest. And then the final 2:05 p.m. GMT kickoff time is West Ham taking on Liverpool. This is a big game for Arne Slot, and Liverpool just don't seem to be playing for the manager or playing with their form, so I think West Ham's going to win this game, to be honest with you guys. So I'm going 2-0 West Ham win. And then the final game to end match day number 13 in the Premier League, and it is the biggest game this weekend. It's a huge game. It's second place playing first place, and this is going to be really interesting because if Chelsea want to win the Premier League, they're at home against Arsenal. They need to win this game, and Arsenal, they win this game, take a huge, and I mean a huge step towards winning the Premier League. So from a City point of view, I'm a City fan, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, I want both sides here to drop points, so it would be of City's benefit here that this finishes a draw, and Arsenal drop points, Chelsea drop points, and Man City pick up 3 points, and we make some gains on Chelsea, we make some gains on Arsenal. Happy days, and we'll take it into the next Premier League match day, because after all, the Premier League is a marathon and nothing's decided after 13 games, but you can take big steps towards achieving your goals, and this is a huge game, because if Chelsea want to win the Premier League, they've got to win this game. If Arsenal win this game, I struggle to see how Arsenal can be stopped in winning the Premier League even at this early stage. They look formidable at this moment in time. So it'll be interesting to see what does happen in this game. For me, this is a huge title decider, so I weren't sure what to do with it. So me probably being biased, being a City fan, I want a draw. I'm going with a draw, and I'm going 1-1. Now, I am going with Arsenal to lead this game early on, and I'm going with Arsenal to lead for a long time, and I'm going Chelsea to find a late equaliser. Both sides pushing for it at the end. Nothing comes about it, and I'm going 1-1 for this match. So, love to know your predictions of that one in the comments below. But that game kicking off at 4:30 p.m. GMT, with that game also being broadcast live in the UK on Sky Sports. So, they'd be my Premier League predictions ahead of match day number 13. Do let me know your predictions in the comments below. Also, don't forget as well to leave a thumbs up on today's video. It lets me know that you are enjoying the videos. Do subscribe if you're new around here. It is free to subscribe. I'm going to keep you guys up to date with all the latest football content here on my channel, so do subscribe if you haven't done so already. It is free. Social media links are in the description too if you want to go and check me out on my X, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And finally, do go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by SofaScore. I'll see you all again real soon for the next video. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.